Hi, this is Hector again with Meistergram. And in our previous video, we showed you how to remove the needle case on a XL-1500 XL. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to replace the reciprocator and do some maintenance work before reinstalling the needle case on the machine. Here we have our reciprocator, which is also known as a needle bar driver. This part allows the internal movement of the machine to be transferred to the needle bars. In most cases, this part of the reciprocator breaks whenever there's a strike from the needle on a hoop or any other incident that may happen to the machine. In this case, the block seems to be okay, but we can notice we have a little play, which is resulting in missed stitches and a few other problems with the machine. So in this video, we're going to show you how to replace this block. We're going to also be performing some maintenance while we're here and get this machine back up and running. For this job, we'll need a metric hex wrench set and a flathead screwdriver. We'll start with removing the right cover just to the side of the reciprocator. This contains 2 flathead screws. Now the reciprocator is held by this shaft that we could see here. This shaft has to be removed in order to get the reciprocator out. In order to remove the shaft, we have to locate the set screw which holds the shaft into place and loosen this screw in order to slide the shaft out. I'll be using a 2.5mm hex wrench. I'll be inserting it into the left lower side of the needle case base. We'll insert our hex wrench long ways in. Now if the screw's too tight, here's a quick trick. Take any screwdriver that has a back hole and insert it into the short end, and now you can leverage and break that screw. You don't want to break it literally, you just want to loosen it. Now that the shaft is loose and we can rotate it, we'll go ahead and try to get this out of the machine. In most cases, it's really easy. We could just go ahead and slide it up. You could twist it a little bit and work it until we can completely get it up over. Now we've reached a bump here. I'm gonna go ahead and take something to protect the bar, and I'll pinch it with a pair of needle nose pliers, and this will help me slide that bar out. Got it now. As you can see, this comes all the way out. Now, in the process of removing that shaft, if you notice that your machine moves from the 100 position, just go ahead and turn the dial on the side and put the machine back on 100. This is very important in order to get the reciprocator out. So we'll simply just bring the reciprocator over to the left a little bit and tilt it, and we'll pull it straight out. And here it is. All right, so we have our reciprocator out. We're gonna go ahead and inspect it. Apparently the issue is with the entire unit. As you can see here, we have a bend to the top bracket which holds the block down. It's possible that there was a strike on a hoop, and this could have possibly caused a bend in the part. So we're gonna go ahead and replace this with a brand new unit, and we'll continue with installing and getting the machine back up and running. We have our new reciprocator here. We can compare it to the one we removed. We can see where there's a slight bend to the top bracket. There is some top to bottom play, something we won't see on the new reciprocator. For a part number, refer back to your Meistergram parts manual, which came with your machine. You could also locate the manual on our website. That's meistergramembroidery.com or meistergram.us. Now, to get the new reciprocator installed, we'll start by locating the driving pin, which is on the back side of the reciprocator. This inserts into this drive arm here. So we'll have to line these up and insert that pin in all the way. At this point, our reciprocator will go into its location. We'll now go ahead and push it over from the bottom to the right, and it will snap onto this right shaft. We have the reciprocator shaft here, or the bar as it's called, and we'll notice at the bottom it has a flat end. This flat end should line up with the set screw on the bottom left of the machine. Okay, we'll go ahead and insert this into the top. We'll slide it in. We'll make sure to take the reciprocator and line it up straight so that we could get our bar through. Now, we are noticing that the flat is still pointing to the left. We want to make sure that this is consistent until we get the bar all the way down. Okay. Now, there is a needle case bearing right down here. The bar has to go through it. In a lot of cases, it's difficult to get the bar through it because the bearing is loose there. If you do have a hard time, I recommend go ahead and remove these two flathead screws. Take this plate out. This will allow you to maneuver the bearing, and it'll just make it easier to get the bar all the way down. Now, ultimately, how far the bar goes down, we can actually sense by placing our finger at the bottom of the base here. So we can see there's a hole right down here. And what we need to do is we need to go ahead and feel for the bar coming down. And what we want is for that bar to sit flush down here. We don't want it extending down, and we also don't want any space left. We'll now go back and secure our bar with our set screw. We'll go ahead and tighten it. Torque it down just a bit using our wrench this time. Not too much. Now our bar is back in place. We can continue to replacing our right side cover. So there is some adjustment on this plate. We're gonna go ahead and raise and push it over to the right, and this is where we're gonna wanna tighten our cover. So the reason we want this cover up and over to the right is we want to avoid any contact from the moving parts here on the reciprocator or the pressure foot dampening system, which is this one just to the right of the reciprocator. So we've cleared these parts here, we've cleared this, we've cleared this part of the arm on top, so there is no contact. There will be no issues with that cover. So I did mention we were going to do some maintenance work to this while we're here. So we're going to remove this cover on the left. Now this cover contains our thread clamp solenoid. So we'll just go ahead and place this where it doesn't pull on the wire. Now what we could do while we're here is we usually have a lot of debris. We have a lot of stuff that falls back here, so we'll just go ahead and access this and clean this up real good. We have some grease on the cam that we could reach. We could clean out some of that grease and put some fresh grease in there. And ultimately just do a little maintenance work while we're already here with the needle case removed. Just a quick note, make sure that your reciprocator bar and your pressure foot dampener bar, which is right next to it, make sure those are nice and clean. I do see a lot of machines that have grease, and that grease, just to let you know, ends up blocking these oiling holes that you could locate along the bars. The reason for these holes here are to disperse the oil that comes from the top oiling points. Now again, if we grease these bars, that oil will not be able to come out through those holes, and we'll have a lack of lubrication here. So the grease is specifically for our cam, which is located in the back. So for this reason, if you're replacing your reciprocator, just make sure that you clean those bars out. You could oil them from the top, take out any debris, any dirt you might have back here. And you could even grease that cam that we could see from up front. If you need to get to the back of it, you could always remove your jump motor. This I would recommend. We'll have a separate video on how to completely grease the machine. But if you're doing this type of work, again, I just recommend you coming in here and cleaning as much debris and as much dirt that you can get out of the machine in order for the machine to maintain itself running correctly. We've replaced our left cover, which is the same cover I mentioned before that contains our thread clamp solenoid. We do want to make sure that this cover is lined up correctly, just like the right one. We've pushed it up all the way. We can see our angle here is straight. Once we put the needle case back on, we could check to see if we have any issues with the clamp opening, which is normally not a problem if you replace the cover back correct. Now we've replaced our reciprocator. We have everything back to normal, back to spec. So we went ahead and replaced the reciprocator. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thumbs up. Leave your comments if you have questions, if you liked the video. And see you on the next video we'll be making. I'll be showing you how to reinstall the needle case and get the machine back up and sewing.